Yo. Are we good? Are we on? Hello? How are we doing, guys? All right, let me send out an announcement real quick. How's everybody doing? Happy Wednesday. Let's get some hype in the chat because we're starting the stream here. We got to get the vibes off, right? It's FOMC. Obviously, we're going to see what's going to happen, but I'm hoping that we're doing good. How are we doing, guys? Look at that handsome man, bro. Stop it. Stop it. We are live on YouTube trading FOMC. Come stop by. Let's hopefully get some good PA. All right, let me post this real quick, and then let's start chatting. We got 30 minutes before FOMC, so. All right. How we doing, guys? What up, Adrian, Asen, Wilson, David? We don't cut today? I think we're definitely going to lean towards a cut, to be honest. I think it's short-term bullish for the market, but based off of kind of where we are right now in price action and kind of just looking through the morning, I'll kind of run you guys through what I was looking for in the morning. So I skipped out on the morning. Every time that we have FOMC, I pretty much never trade the AM session. Doesn't necessarily mean that there's not going to be trades, but it's more so a rule that I have. I'm always way more patient because everybody's waiting for FOMC. In today's specifically a very important FOMC meeting. So going into the morning, there actually was, I'm very curious, did anybody take this short in the morning? Market at open was showing signs of continuing to sell off on the 1 hour. We were continuously respecting that 1 hour fair value gap on ES. NQ in the overnight session, or yesterday, 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. before close, ended up tapping into it. But this morning, ES ends up going higher, tapping back into the 1 hour fair value gap. Internal buy set ends up getting taken. We put in an SMT. And then on ES, or on NQ, sorry, market ends up opening. We end up breaking to the downside and then coming back up to respect the breaker back to OTE of the range. We end up selling all the way back off, take the internal low first, pull back, and then kind of sell off through this. This was really nice. If this wasn't FOMC and I was trading in the morning, this would have 100% been an A-plus setup. I'm curious if anybody else took it. Yeah, off the retracement, far. Yeah, AM session was super clean. I'm very surprised. And again, this is kind of like the thing too where you'll kind of get days where news affects price and news doesn't affect price, but you have to always ask yourself, like, what's the more intentional and like better focus to do? Because there's going to be some days like today where FOMC and I don't trade the morning and I'm waiting for FOMC later in the PM, but there still was a good setup AM session. So that doesn't mean like next FOMC or all of the FOMCs going forward, I'm going to still, try to trade AM session because the majority of the time, that's unfortunately not what we're going to see. So let's talk a little bit about what I want to see here going into FOMC. So we have 25 minutes and there's a couple things that I want you guys to keep in mind. Number one, there is a higher likelihood that the Fed is going to cut rates. If the Fed cuts rates, that is short-term bullish. I do not specifically believe that if the Fed cuts rates, the market is just going to pump. I have no idea because the market will push towards the already existing draw on liquidity. So when we look at just price action, right, we want to look at price action to gain an understanding. And then when Powell ends up starting to speak, looking at how price is reacting to these areas. So number one, let's take a look at ES and NQ and kind of the differences between the two. I want to see ES and NQ draw towards this recent low. Now, this low on NQ is this low on ES. So market could end up dumping initially from Powell. And normally what we want to see is the first 15 minutes of FOMC, we want to have be manipulation and then reverse back higher. So what I would like to see going into FOMC is, because the morning had already had this manipulation on ES, I would really want to see these down close candles still act as resistance if we come back up to them, and act as an order block to then continuously go lower. Now, I have no idea what the market's going to do. We're going to have to sit and watch and let price action tell us what the story is when FOMC ends up opening up. But I would want to see us go lower first, because there is external sell side liquidity. If we start to get bought up, I need to build a lot more confidence that we want to go back towards the morning highs. So internal low here just got taken on ES. There's no SMT here yet. We're starting to break to the upside. Again, it's way too soon. I need more confidence. We're going to be rebalanced back to these down close candles. There's also a bunch of inefficiencies on NQ, where we have a 1 hour fair value gap, a 1 hour fair value gap here. I'd like to see the market possibly rebalance back to OTE, back to equilibrium of this previous price leg. So if we can do something like this, where we might even play a little bit more bullish, maybe even have another SMT get put in and possibly reject to go back lower, this is kind of what I would want to see, because I think the draw is still lower. So we'll wait at open. We got some time, or not at open, but we'll wait for FOMC. We'll see overall what we want to do. To be honest, I'm not super focused on if the Fed cuts rates or not cuts rates. Obviously, we're going to pay attention to it and see what it is. But I think the most important thing is to just watch price action. Bro, I know the thumbnail for this video is so old. I look so young, and I'm literally like seducing the camera. I'm just like, it's so funny. I definitely need to get a new thumbnail, because the one I have right now is like, it's like, you want to watch me trade live? Oh my goodness. Daily bullish fair value gap below. I'd love to see price push towards that, hate trading all-time highs. That's also what I'm... So the unfortunate thing is if Fed does cut rates, there's a really big likelihood that we'll just go to all-time highs again. Now, keep in mind, though, Fed cutting rate is short-term bullish. So short-term bullish by, we could go back to new all-time highs, but I would be okay with that, because we're now building price action in this range. So let's say market just ends up like ripping and we do something like this. Well, now we have all of this more generated sell-side liquidity to eventually build more price action with. So even doing something like this where the market like builds more internal price action, I'm expecting us to start building more price action here. So that's a way to look at it, where we don't have to take a trade right now. Like, we're in Q4. Many of you guys I've been hearing, and just I think a lot of people in general in the trading space have been having possibly a hard time trading all-time highs, because they don't know when to put on size, when to be aggressive versus waiting for the market to present conditions that are actually favorable for them. And I do not trade well in expansion markets. I trade well when the market is building ranges and actually has price action to base ideas off of. There's liquidity on both sides of the market. When we are just in a trend, right? When the market is just making higher highs and higher lows, there isn't a lot of high probability opportunity here. There needs to be lows that get taken on the way, and that will happen, right? In a bullish trend, here and there will generate low, take that low, continue higher, right? Take that low, continue higher, right? This is the opportunity that I can only really take to, you know, have a high quality trade in a trending market. But I'm hoping that we're going to start building kind of some more PA on the bigger time frame, that we get a better understanding of what we want to do. Is that coffee or tea? This is coffee. The rest of my coffee that's cold from the morning. I was sipping on this. It was on my desk. I won't lie, it's very cold, but I'm going to sip on it. When sell side got swept, didn't you expect a bullish move? What sell side? Again, like I said, I still think that the draw is these lows to the left of us. I still think that we have lower to go. Now, internal sell side gets taken, but internal sell side against the opposing draw is lower probability. If there's high quality sell side resting below and the market opens in the morning, takes the high, puts in a bearish SMT, and we continue to displace lower, and then this internal low gets taken, yeah, this internal low might rebalance us, but it's not confident for me to say we go all the way back to this high. It makes no sense. We need to see some sort of external low get taken, then build more price action, then have a buy model that actually is set up from that move. So another reason why, again, this is like just a tip for a lot of you guys. If you find yourself like seeing, oh, this is a great setup, sell side got taken, break of structure, I'm going to take a long, like zoom out and realize what had already happened. Like this is bearish order flow. There's sell side liquidity resting. You're fighting the external draw. So it doesn't matter if there's an internal model. If you're fighting the external draw, it's going to be lower probability. What is the solution for not being mad taking the short today? I feel like I'm sleeping on high quality setups all the time. Read for the week, and the textbook setup today wasn't taken by me. Well, ask yourself, why are you mad? You're mad because you didn't execute on a setup. Okay, well, you're mad because you didn't have the chance to make money. If you look at it from the perspective of, I'm just going to focus on learning and improving, you're not going to have that problem. And another thing too is, anytime that you make a mistake in trading, your brain wants to play victim and guilt trip you into making you more focused on the problem than identifying the lesson from it. And that is the hardest thing, where what happens is, we recently just talked about, the analogy I've been using recently is like, we all have a mental ladder, right? Where we're so focused on improving our trading and like, gosh, man, I really want to break these problems. I really want to improve. And it's like, okay, I one step up. I had a good day. I followed my rules. Oh, 2 steps up on the ladder. Oh, great. I'm doing so well. Oh, two steps back down. Oh, 1 step back down. Oh, I broke my rules. I had a lost day. And that's why it feels like a lot of you guys are on a hamster wheel with your path to profitability, because you're idolizing the outcome instead of the input and your ability to view it as your identity. The problem is many of you guys attach your outcomes and the experiences that you're experiencing as your identity. So that's why you feel guilt. That's why you feel stressed. That's why you feel anxious. When in reality, your identity is completely separate. I am not my trading. I am not my YouTube. I am not anything. I am just me. My trading, my outcomes, my mistakes are just causations where then I can reflect and say, what was the action or intention I had that made me make the mistake? And then I can go at it from a third person perspective, not in a guilt trip like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this, like I hate myself, but more in the sense of, okay, I made this mistake. I know that this was a mistake, and I feel this way because it's a humanistic reaction to tell me it was a mistake. We are not supposed to hold on to that mistake or hold on to that guilt or problem that we have. Our goal is to learn from it from a third person perspective and say, I care more about improvement than I do, wallowing in my own guilt or my own problems that I just had. Like, you make the mistake, you move on and you improve. Don't tie it to your identity. Don't tie success to your identity. Don't tie money to your identity. You're never going to be happy if that's the case. All right, we got 15 minutes. How's your day so far? It's been good. It's been pretty chill. Got some work done in the morning. Had a little interview with another trader in the space, but hopped on the charts just a little bit recently to kind of see where we are. Are you trading FOMC? I have no idea if I'm going to take a trade. I might. I could. I got to see what FOMC does first. I think shorts during the morning were really nice. I think it was A+ model that we just went over. Market opens on ES, puts the SMT in, bearish SMT on NQ. We end up having a 5-minute change in the state, pull back to it, end up continuing to sell lower. I think it looked really nice. So let me run through this real quick because we're having some more people start to come in. Going into the day, I want to run you guys through my bias and a couple things to focus on with FOMC. Number one, most likely the Fed's going to cut rates. If the Fed cuts rates, it's short-term bullish. Doesn't necessarily mean that I am bullish with trading the market. I think that the market is showing more signs of continuing lower than it is being bearish. Let me tell you why. Number one, market opens, ES runs higher, rejects the bearish imbalance, and has manipulation. High gets taken, SMT gets put in, we start to have bearish order flow going lower. This internal low getting taken does not validate to me that we go back higher towards this high. I would actually want to see this high be protected until external sell side is taken. So going into FOMC, there's a couple things that we could do. Market could open on FOMC and we go higher. Now, what would I want to see if we go higher? Well, we have a 1 hour fair value gap that's resting in premium of this range. So the morning open to the low in which we just created, I would want to see us rebalance back to that 1 hour fair value gap, see if price wants to respect it to then possibly roll back over to go towards the external sell side. So possibly do something like this. Now, let's say market opens and we sell first, where we don't have a rebalance. We end up FOMC opens and we just have a move like this. If that's the case, most of the time there's going to be no trade, but I would then be looking to be bullish possibly here if we do get the internal price action for it. So there will most likely be an SMT that gets put in play, as ES is lower to taking this internal low than NQ is. And if we do have an SMT, that could give us conviction. But guys, one thing I want to tell you, and listen when I say this, there's no reason to predict. There's no reason to sit here and say like, oh, well, I can think this can happen, this can happen. Like, that's just us like wanting to be right. Like, oh, let me draw this on my chart. So then when it happens, I can be like, oh, I told you guys. I don't care. What matters is recognizing in the moment when price starts to print, where new data is being given to me, making a good decision based off of that data. That's all I care about. So no idea what the market's going to do. I can hypothesize all I want, but let's wait for FOMC. Let's wait for 2 o'clock. Let's see what ends up happening when price opens, and we'll take it from there. It's hard not tying your value to money, especially in a society, especially in this society, especially as a young man. I 100% agree. It definitely is hard, but guess what? Being a good man and having a strong sense of identity comes from doing the hard things. You want to know why the majority falls? Because they don't care to identify the problem. They don't care to identify that they scroll on TikTok and are literally brainwashed every single day, that they care more about what other people are doing than themselves because they are just consuming thousands of other lives every single day instead of being grateful for the one that they have. And then they ask themselves, why am I depressed? Why am I anxious? Why am I stressed? Because human beings aren't meant to experience the things that society has formed into in the last 20 years. So yeah, of course it's going to be hard, but you decide the way that you want to live your life. And I also identifying those things and saying like, I want to change. If you're constantly focused on making money and not having a deeper sense of purpose as to why you're making money or the actions of actually making that money, you'll constantly be in a chase. You'll never be satisfied. You'll literally never be satisfied with, if you make as much money as you could ever believe and ever want, you still won't be satisfied. Because happiness and stillness and contentment does not come from money, and it doesn't come from worldly things. I have an execution problem most of the time, but the model plays out. But then my entries get chopped. Backtesting, you can just stop time, but live, it's another story. Price goes without you. Well, what do you mean your entries get chopped? Do you find yourself getting stopped out early? If the case is, then I would recommend having a looser stop and do not overmanage the position. I think a lot of people have a problem with just overmanaging their position, where they enter the trade, they want to move their stop to break even earlier than it should be because they're afraid of it going back to their price target once they're in profit. Just take the trade, accept the risk, and just let it do its thing. I'm curious for trades. Should I close if I'm seeing it starting to flip structure, or should I just let it ride SL or TP? SL or TP. Because you're now putting yourself in another position to make a decision that adds another factor into the probability of a game of probabilities. If you are just looking at the market and the only game and the only choice that you are saying is entry or not, and what is my stop loss, right? So identify what the entry is, your idea, what the market is showing you, and enter the trade. Now, if you enter the trade and then you put yourself in another environment to make a decision, it's going to skew your data and it's going to skew your success. So now you're sitting there saying, do I move my stop? Do I take it off early? Do I this? And then that ruins your entire consistency and your entire trading. So cut it out. Don't overmanage the position. Take the trade. Wait for high quality setups. Don't overmanage it. And just let the market do its thing. If you have to, set your limit orders and then step away. We got 8 minutes. Could you make a video on trade taxes? The thing is like, I'll be honest with you. I have no fucking clue. I pay somebody. Like, I don't think any of you guys should try to do your own taxes if you're making money for trading. Like, pay somebody that actually knows what they're doing and have them do it for you. Justin, can I buy mentorship with one-time payment? Yeah, and we also have payment plans too. Justin was wondering, why did you switch from market structure shifts to change in the state? It's pretty much the same thing. I think I probably started using change in the state like, I want to say a little bit under a year ago for market structure shift. And the really only difference is you're just drawing it from the candle versus the wick. Now, what you need to identify though, and the differences and disadvantages that I do see of change in the state is you need to still identify displacement. You still need to identify displacement because there's some times where the market, like let's say that this is like my down close candle and the market doesn't displace through this high. This can sometimes cause you to get faked out where like we actually do not have displacement through any of highs, but we did break above this. That's the only thing that I would say to be careful with changing the state is you still want to identify price action affirming the break. We got 5 minutes. All right. One last time. We got 5 minutes before FOMC. I'm going to run this bias through you guys one more time. Fed is most likely going to cut rates. We'll see if they do so. If they do cut rates, it is short-term bullish for the market. Does that mean that I am super bullish? Not necessarily. I want to align price action and what I can already recognize from where we are to what FOMC ends up doing when we open up at 2 o'clock. So a couple outcomes that I'm looking for. Market ends up opening bullish for FOMC, rebalancing back to this 1 hour fair value gap and back to OTE of the entire price leg that we had already created this morning, and then possibly looking to go back lower towards the opposing draw on liquidity because we have not taken external sell side yet. So, or market at FOMC starts to open, we chop, go lower first. Once this is sell side is taken, then I want to see if price action affirms a reversal to possibly take a long. So market opens first. If we end up shooting higher, I want to see if this holds bearish. If this gets ran through and we go higher, there's most likely no trade. Keep in mind too, it's FOMC. Do not put on heavy risk today. Do not feel like you need to take a trade. The market is going to be moving extremely fast. There's going to be way better opportunity most likely tomorrow and Friday. This is educational. I'm hopping on live to make sure that you guys do not do something dumb. This is not supposed to be flashy. Let's take a bunch of trades. It's supposed to be educational. So let's see what the market does at 2 o'clock, and I'll walk you through my thought process. So this down close candle is kind of what I want to see ES respect if we do want to go lower. Again, like where we are on NQ, would want to see that down close candle respect. Keep in mind, we are in a bullish 4-hour fair value gap that could still hold bullish, right? So we want to see how price reacts to this as well. Because this 4-hour wick is starting to try to hold this. I would need to see more internal validation. We're starting to see it right now with a 15-minute break. So far, I would most likely expect when Powell and 2 o'clock opens to rebalance higher. But notice there's no internal manipulation here too. There's no clear low that got taken. Just slow move lower, displacement back up. Probably I would just want to see this rebalance and then go back lower. We got 3 minutes. How do you know if the market is manipulating or just pumping? You look to the left. Are we pumping towards highs? Are we taking highs? Are we in the middle of nowhere? Needs context. If the market's pumping, I don't care. I need to see what the context is. What up, Dylan? Are you going to watch the speech? No. I mean, do you guys want me to pull it up? Powell.
Committee today.
We'll have this open. Yes, yes. Well, when it opens, we'll have like the first couple minutes on. I don't want it to be a distraction though. We got 1 minute. Here we go. So we're back in the 1 hour fair value gap. I just want to watch price. I want to see if we want to hold this, if we want to just continue to just run right through this. But this is where I would want to see price possibly respect to then flip back bearish. In fact, I don't really want to watch Powell. We're going to close it. So ES ends up shooting higher as well. Currently right now, rebalancing back to the 4 hour fair value gap. Again, we could totally break through this. Just want to shoot to all-time highs? We absolutely can. Have a 15-minute break. We do have a bearish SMT, though, that just got put in, so we'll kind of watch both outcomes here. I like this wick rejection so far on NQ. Again, we want to give it like 10, 15 minutes or so. Watch price action get put in here. So far, fairly bullish on ES. We've been holding this 4-hour bullish inefficiency. 1 hour had a break towards the upside. We'll see if we want to sweep these highs or not. If we come back down to this, so far we're discorrelated within assets. Quarter point cut for rates. Okay. Just watching. So far right now, ES as being the lead asset, showing a lot more bullish order flow, continuing higher. Would most likely expect ES to run towards new highs. Nothing I can take here. If the market just wants to pump, do not do anything. You just let it do its thing. Don't try to chase this. Don't feel FOMO. Let the market do its thing. The only way I could potentially take something is if we pull back to a bigger time frame inefficiency, which means 15 minutes at least has to go by if NQ wants to break this SMT. This is very looking very bullish. Yes. And still just wanting to see. Hasn't even been 5 minutes yet. Do you always do this with your mentorship? Every single day I'm live. I trade live every single day in our mentorship group. ES is really ripping here. Again, I would just totally be patient right now. No reason to touch anything. Pretty bullish 4-hour close. If you guys are interested in the mentorship where I trade live every morning, there should be a link in the description of this live stream. It should just say learn from me and then a link where you guys can fill out a form. Right now, again, still watching. I want to see the market continue to respect this. If ES wants to go higher, currently the market's flipped 2 biases. So my job is not to try to guess what the market's doing. ES looks like we want to run towards all-time highs. NQ looks like we want to possibly reject this. There is a bearish SMT. I want to see who plays the higher role and who's pulling the market in its favor. So far, ES is pulling the market in its favor. I would need to see NQ show a very bearish order flow to really gain an understanding if the market does want to sell off from where NQ is right now. And again, like I said too, normally the first 10-15 minutes is what we want to wait for to then see possibly a reversal. So first sign of it, 1 minute fair value gap getting ran through. Still not enough for me. Just watching. Are there teaching videos in the mentorship? Guys, my mentorship is not like anything. And again, this is like, I'm telling you right now, it's everything that you need to be successful. We have a professional psychologist in our group that takes care of our traders to focus on having the right psychology needs. Full course curriculum, coaching calls. I live trade every single morning. We have people that specifically reach out to members. We have forums making sure everybody's focusing on their rules. What I would just say is click the link in the description if you guys are interested in that, and you'll be able to learn more about what it actually is. Fill out a form, book a call, and you'll get the information you're looking for. So right now, this is the first sign of weakness within NQ. 1 hour fair value gap is getting rejected. There's a bearish SMT. The 1 minute fair value gap just got ran through. This is an early short entry. I would still want to see more internal price action get put in here. There's no low that is getting broken through. Right now, it's literally just this. If there's no high or manipulation or anything that's getting broken through, I'm not confident in a short yet. And also keep in mind, ES is a lot more bullish. We're looking good. Really nice rejection here. ES is starting to come back as well. This 15-minute candle has not even closed yet. So I want to see the reaction at these bullish fair value gaps if we want to hold or not. So internal bullish SMT just gets put in. The low that was created from FOMC ends up getting taken. If we do not displace through this, then I would be a little bit more bullish to go have another internal move. So we'll watch. Again, this is zoomed in on the 15-second, just looking at what price action is showing. This low did get taken. We'll see if ES wants to catch up to it and NQ wants to sell off, or we want to hold this SMT and work our way back higher. Again, external draw, though, I would want to see price go lower. 5-minute change in the state is currently getting put in where we close below these down close candles. Watching very closely. Keep in mind, we're now back to the initial change that we had. So what's tricky about this is when assets are discorrelated, I would be more bullish on ES and bearish on NQ. So when I look at this, there's a couple perspectives. I can say, well, we just put in a bullish SMT from these lows on ES, right? Big bullish SMT. And we had big displacement higher on ES. So I would like to see ES work our way towards new highs. This would be a break towards the upside. NQ on the bigger time frame is leaning more bearish. I want to continue to watch here. See if we want to sell through this. NQ is looking very, very bearish. Pulling ES with it. So what I would want to see now is a pullback to these down close candles. If these lows don't get taken in time. If we end up just dumping straight to the lows, there is no trade. Internal low gets taken. Risk is off right now. Would not take anything after this internal low gets taken. Would most likely expect a follow through to the external. If you're getting upset and you're getting stressed that you did not take a trade, you need to change that mindset. So definitely expecting lower on NQ towards that external low. We could rebalance first. Just watch them. All right. So this external low gets taken. At this point in time, you put your hands up. We need to see more information now. Sell side got taken. If we look at where ES is, ES ends up having a massive, again, crazy move higher all the way back, sells back off. This low that just got taken also just got low taken on ES. So if we end up continuing to sell off on ES, that's this next low. So we could put in a bullish SMT here. I can't touch this. Do not chase this. If you are getting anxious and like, I need to take a trade, you do not need to do anything. You literally do not need to do anything. Ask yourself, am I actually in control? Because you better be in control of your own decision making. Sit here and do nothing. Low gets taken. We wait to see if there is a reaction. We want to see more price action get built. If you took shorts, congratulations. Really clean. Didn't personally have the setup that I was looking for to take a shorts, and I don't take a short. So again, right now, I just want to let price action get built at this low. I'm not immediately trying to take longs to try to catch a reversal. Just watching the market. If you're trying to catch both sides, you're just going to get chopped up back and forth here. I would still want to see the market showcase lower on yes. Come back to this series of non-closed candle. I'd want to see this get respected and flip back bullish or bearish. Should I be worried about my investment in the S&P 500? Brother, you shouldn't be buying the S&P 500 if you're worried about your investment in the S&P 500. You shouldn't even look at it. You shouldn't even touch it. You shouldn't even care about it. I'd want to see this. Just tap the 5-minute. Possible continuation short with good RR. Want to check what the risk is. Dump here. See if this ends up getting respected and we run through whatever inefficiencies here. We want to run higher. Runs back higher. Tapping deeper into the 5-minute. We'll just watch him. Is Justin short? No, he's like a solid 5'10". I am not 5'10". I'm you, sir. Just trying to make me look easy. Just fucking. Okay, so where we are right now, external sell side has been taken. This doesn't mean that I'm fully bullish yet. I can't be bullish because there's no price action to the left of me for me to base a strong change in the state or a break of structure off of. So if we do want to go lower because we're rebalancing back to these down close candles, we're in a 5-minute fair value gap. There is still sell side liquidity resting below us. I would need to see us respect this fair value gap and have internal manipulation to go back lower. I am still leaning more towards the downside, but I need to see confirmation that we want to reject this inefficiency to go back lower. If we want to continue to hold bullish, we hold bullish, and I need market to affirm that as a bias, right? I don't want to guess. I need the market to affirm to me what we want to do, which means if we're in a 5-minute fair value gap and the market wants to go lower, I need to see what? Possibly internal manipulation and then break of that to go lower. If we want to immediately just go bought back up straight to the highs, I don't touch it. But right now, we're having a pretty deep retracement after this low got taken. So the first thing we want to look at is this, right? Always when in doubt, zoom out. Internal low has been taken. I still would want to see this become low resistance liquidity. Market opens at FOMC, takes the highs, respects the 1 hour inefficiency, bearish SMT. Market ends up selling off, takes the internal low, rebalancing back to the initial 5-minute change in the state and the 5-minute fair value gap. We're now back at equilibrium of this previous price range. I would like to see confirmation and internal price action tell me we want to go lower, right? Meaning, what does that look like? We possibly have a rebalance, internal manipulation, break to the downside. Guys, if it's not exactly what I want to see, I'm not taking a trade. That's what keeps me successful long term. If you want to take a bunch of trades and be like, oh, well, I think the market can do this, I think the market, take the trade. I'm not stopping you from doing anything. This is the first possible information if we want to go lower. Is this down close candle and the 30-second getting respected? I'd like to see more price action on the 1 minute, though. SMT gets put in internally. Pretty zoomed in, but I want to see how the market reacts to it. If we want to go higher, I don't expect a displacement through this. I expect to sweep this and then go higher. We sweep it. Would expect the market to go higher. at least short term. Again, I still am just watching. Notice how we do not displace, but we sweep it and immediately go back higher. Yep, we got Powell speak in 2 minutes. Right now, market's pretty bullish. Could easily expect us to go to new highs. Does that mean I take a trade? Nope, my model's not present. Now, for me to be bearish, I need to see this fair value gap get ran through, and we need to get below this down close candle. That's the only way I can be bearish. We'll see how price reacts. Come back down. If we're bullish, we hold these down close candles. We hold this fair value gap. Again, where are we starting to reject? Initial down close candles that we had initially put in on the first break. But I really do not like, this is pretty bullish on ES. We've gotten back up below the initial down close candle in the 15-minute, and it's just, again, it's just not clean. There's no 5-minute break. There's nothing for me to be super bullish. For me to be super bullish, maybe we come down, take this internal low, lack displacement, and maybe that's a clearer, a much better long for me to possibly take if it validates it. But so far, again, I'm waiting for the market to show me what I... So I want to see what happens when this low gets taken. Low gets taken. We have a bunch of bearish order flow coming out of it, or do we sweep it? Right now it's looking good. Pretty bearish. Would need to see a pullback here. This would be the short entry, but I am honestly a little bit skeptical of this because the internal low had already gotten taken. Much rather just kind of let it do its thing, to be honest. If we sweep this on NQ, I think yes, wants to go reach for this. If we hold this and we continue to displace out of it, then this is what I would kind of want to see for the bullish case, because we're still holding this inefficiency on NQ. Kind of two conflicting biases here. See how NQ respects these down close candles. This is where internal manipulation will probably start to sell here after that. We failed to displace through this. Comes up, sweeps the high, stops out any traders that are initially short. Should start to look good. Right now, my goal is just watching price action. Very hesitant to really take anything because it is FOMC. Like, I don't feel the need to. I know there's going to be a lot better opportunity. My job right now is just kind of test my eye, see what I think the market's going to do. Should see a push through this to these next lows. Yeah, make sure you are adjusted for contract changes, guys. Basically, if you're looking at NQ on TradingView, at the bottom right, there should be a button that says adjust for contract changes, B-ADJ. Make sure that's checked. Bro, you made me skip 2 setups. I didn't do anything, bro. You think I'm like holding you back right now, tying you to your chair? I'm just showing you guys what my goal is. My goal is to educate you. I don't need to take a trade right now. I have no pressure to take a trade right now. It's FOMC. You're deciding to put risk on the most volatility and unexpected day of the week, of the month. But what I will tell you is I literally called every single move. I gave you the conviction. I told you what the market was going to most likely do. I said, first of all, the first thing I said was at open, when Powell speaks and FOMC opens, I want to see us rebalance to OTE, reject it, and go lower. Then I said, once we actually went lower, I want to see the market rebalance on ES, break a low, create a fair value gap, and then continue lower towards the external draw, which also happened. But I don't need to take a trade. It's more it's more risk on to put in an unnecessary environment to put risk on. But most of you guys, I would say completely be patient right now, guys. Would still expect, I would want to see ES go one last time lower to that 6.634 level. See if we want to put in a low. We'll put in a bigger time frame SMT. So keep in mind, when this low gets taken on ES, which it will happen right here, we are going to have a big bullish SMT here. So ES is selling off. Low gets taken. Now we have a bigger time frame SMT. Now that the objective is taken, I would say most of you guys should hop off. My job is I'm going to still probably be here for 30 minutes to an hour, answer some questions kind of while we're watching the market. But now that the objective of FOMC has been taken, I'd most likely expect there to not really be. Might be a reversal later, but who knows. think this that's for it. Oh, my bad. Justin, one question. If the low get wick and after little retracement, then break the low, where is the break of structure in this case? Like the overall low, the low that got swept. Justin, wait, hold on. Let me read this again. If the low got wick and after little retracement, then breaks the low, where is the break of structure in this case? Like the overall low or the low that got swept? Not the low that got swept. It's the displacement. The move of the displacement is validating the break of structure. Do you journal not trading days? Absolutely. I think you should journal your no trade days 100%. Justin, good job, man. I've learned a lot through your videos and the losses, such wins that you take. Everyone must learn to hone in on skill and master in your ability. I appreciate it, brother. How has this live been? Guys, trust me. I know you guys want to see me take a trade. But my job is also to set an example. And if I don't have conviction and like my job is I'm going to watch FOMC, give you guys value. I want to know, have you gained something? Have you benefited from this live? Do you want me to do more of these? Even if I didn't take a trade, there's going to be days where I take a trade. There's going to be days where I don't take a trade. I haven't taken a trade at all this week yet. At all this week. I haven't taken a single one. More lives? All right. I'll definitely work on doing some more lives for you guys. B-ADJ adjusts for the contract changes. So when the contracts roll over, this will automatically update for it. So the chart's not like all wacky. Justin, if I want to trade PM sessions, what time should I hop on the charts? I would wait for after lunch. So EST time would be like 1 to 4 probably if you're gonna trade PM. Just watch your newest video, open a new perspective, not just on trading, but my life. Appreciate you, Justin. Much love, brother. I'm glad that it helped. Yeah, if you guys did not know, I just dropped right before this live a new psychology video. Something that we've been talking about in the mentorship recently. Oh, that's the live. Is identity and being able to break free from the identity cycles that happen within traders a lot of the time. So highly recommend to go watch that. I think a lot of you guys are going to get a new perspective of a lot of things. Can I be successful with trading PM? You can, but obviously AM sessions are always going to be way more high probability. So potential for price to reverse here if we do want to hold this inefficiency. If not, price will continue lower. Again, there's no bigger time frame change yet. Firstly, on the 1 minute, possibly could have an internal buy model. Need to see more confirmation for it. But this is the possible time for reversal if we do want to rebalance back inside this range. How do you learn all of this? Thousands and thousands of hours of watching the market. Genuinely what it is. One advice for overtrading. If you find yourself overtrading, set a max trade rule on the day and care more about following that rule than making money. That's simple. If you have 2 trades rules that are maxed on the day, you're going to be more picky with going into the market. But right now, you're not picky because you think that you can just sit there and trade all day. Set a max rule, 2 trades max, and care more about following that rule than making money. Does break-even trade count as a trade? Yeah. It's something that you should absolutely journal. Anytime that you have a break-even trade, you need to journal it. Again, I would highly recommend, if you guys are not journaling your trades, use TradePath. You can see it at the top of the screen. You can get 25% off at checkout if you use TT25. It's a trade journal where you can connect your broker to it, or you can do it manually. It has AI connected to it. You're able to create a strategy, check off your rules, make sure you're following it, see your progress over a period of time. Because journaling is one of the most important parts of trading. Watching the emotion and chart breakdown live helps so much. It's easy to understand in videos, but to watch it live in action makes it more applicable. Much love, Ryan. I'm glad it's helping, brother. Yeah, we had a CRT on the daily. So if you look at this daily candle and the way that Monday or Tuesday ended up closing, we end up having a big wick close below the recent candle high and then end up coming all the way back down to the next candle low. I normally do not look at YM. I just look at ES and NQ. What I found is ES and NQ are much more correlated in response to YM. And a lot of the times when looking at a third asset, it's going to you're just going to be in analysis paralysis a lot of the time. TradePath made me profitable. Love it. Why don't you trade London session? I sometimes trade London session. I trade London session probably like we were talking about this last night. I maybe take a London session trade like once every month or 2 months. Like it's very rare that I will like have conviction in taking something in the How do you find session highs and lows? I just use an indicator. So there's an indicator called S&D profile, and it basically just marks out the sessions for me. Make a video on reading price action. I have a bunch of videos on reading price action already. But I'm also currently working on like a 4-hour long free course for you guys to post on YouTube. Like literally everything that you could possibly need to know. It's like halfway done right now. But genuinely everything. Like it starts with the foundation of being a profitable trader, reading technical analysis, understanding trends, understanding liquidity. How does the market relate from highs and lows? High quality sessions. What is a change in state? What is fair value gaps? How to align them together? Understanding and reading what the drawn liquidity is and high probability conditions. Like literally everything that you could possibly need. Justin, I'm in a loop. I win one trade, then lose 4 or 5 times what I win. It goes like I can't. Well, either your risk to reward is skewed or you're taking a bunch of unnecessary losses and there's actually no setups there. Now, let me ask you, are you journaling? Probably not. So you don't even know what you're taking. So how can I expect you to give you, how do you know what to improve on if you don't even know the trades that you're taking from a week ago? You're going to always fall into the same mistakes over and over again. This is looking interesting. Best prop firm, I would say either Apex, Top Step, or Tradeify. Apex because it's just the cheapest. Top Step because they probably have the best rules, and Tradeify because they have instant funded, but they're also good rules. Justin, how can I change my mind about don't taking revenge trades and don't care about the money anymore? A couple things. First of all, I would say go watch the video that I just posted because it goes over that. Also, give me 1 second because I am actually looking for a possible long here. Market is breaking through these highs. We're actually now having a break to the upside. I want to see us market go back to internal high. I would like to see a pullback to this inefficiency if we can get it. If this fair value gap opens, I'll take a long if we tap back into it. The market runs and this high gets taken beforehand, there's no trade. High's got to stay intact. High gets taken, trades off the table. Probably want to see something like this. Yeah, I'll be trading Friday. I'll trade tomorrow and Friday. Why did price dump even though rates were cut? Because it doesn't matter if rates were cut. The market's going to push towards the already existing draw. Like I said in the morning, we still have these lows that were left below us. Market moves higher, then goes lower. Once we take sell side, now I would expect the market to go higher. Why didn't you go long on the inverse for value gap? Because there's no validation of a change in the state. This for value gap getting ran through means absolutely nothing. Why does it mean absolutely nothing? Because there's no break to the actual upside yet. Only until we get above this series of down close candles can I actually look to take a long. If you were just looking for this, then you would have lost when this inverse for very good got ran. There's no break yet. There's no long there. Now, as soon as we got above this, I could have just entered, but it went too quick. I was trying to answer a question, and so I put a limit on the fair value gap, didn't pull back, no trade. I think you guys care way too much about missing out on a setup. Guess what? The market opens tomorrow and then the next day, and then 5 days a week. You guys need to be able to see the market literally do all of these things that it's doing and you not take a trade. The market will give you more opportunity. If you miss a setup, it's completely fine. I try to take a long here. My fill does not get filled. Okay, and you think I'm going to sit here and overtrade and just try to catch a move? What do you recommend to do when sometimes I get demotivated to trade? Well, ask yourself, why do you get demotivated? The majority of it is because you're not seeing the rewards in which you think the work you're putting in. So you get demotivated when you try to trade to make money. You don't make money. So how do you actually create long-lasting success? You start caring more about developing as an individual and developing more with your patience and your discipline to do what you say you are going to do than to make money, which in turn will make you more confident, more happy, and make more money. But you care too much about the outcome and not the actual process. It's like you saying, I want to be a basketball player, but you're not on the fucking court making free throws, like practicing. You're caring more about trying to play in the NBA and getting paid for your job than actually learning how to do the job. Why did you not take the first change to sit to the upside? Because I didn't get filled. I tried to have a limit order here. I didn't get filled. Justin, do you prefer manipulation by body or wick? If it's wick, price returns against to SWIP Z. For manipulation by body or wick? I'm a little bit confused on the question. You'd have to explain it better. Manipulation by body or wick? I'd want to see something like this. Yeah, a sweep with a wick is still a sweep. Justin, any advice for those who are on the limit of giving up, thinking that they are not built for this? Anything you could tell them? It took me 3 years to be profitable. I worked at a restaurant as a busser, bussing tables, and a pizza delivery guy for literal 2 years before I even had any sort of success with trading whatsoever. There is no difference between me and you. We are literally the exact same person. There's literally no difference between me and you. I'm not smarter. I'm not more capable. I just stuck with it long enough and learned from my mistakes to build the identity in which was going to make me successful. You have to realize you already are successful. And as soon as you start treating yourself like you're already successful, you're going to start seeing success. Success is not some distant thing. It's an embodiment in which you believe you are successful, so you operate at a different level. But if you view yourself as somebody who continues to break their rules, who continues to fall short, then you're manifesting your own identity to be that. Treat yourself like you're already successful and just be it. Learn from your mistakes. Know that you're exactly where you need to be right now. You are exactly where you need to be right now. Because guess what? The life lessons that you are being taught, you just need to take it for that. I get asked, Justin, how do I know how to improve in my trading? You look at your mistakes. That's literally the market telling you right there, hey, bro, you need to fix this. But you have to view it like that and not fall into the guilt cycle of getting mad at yourself when you keep making mistakes. When in reality, know that it's for you so you can actually improve. Justin, I got stopped out for 2 longs today and now see it going in my direction and I'm feeling really emotional. How do I handle this feeling? You go on a walk. Don't fall into the guilt cycle. You made a mistake. You are not your mistakes. You are not your identity. Don't tie that to your identity. Go on a walk. Just blew my first account. What should I do? Bro, go look at why you blew the account. Ask yourself why you blew the account. Go journal. Look at your mistakes. You guys think that this just comes easy, like one day you're going to wake up and start trading profitably? Go look at the mistakes that you're making. Go ask yourself questions. Why did I do that? Why did I think that was a good setup? Okay, I saw that this was, I thought that this was a good long here. It ended up getting stopped out and then went in back in my favor. Okay, what did I see here? What did I fail to see here? Ooh, okay, all right. I recognize, all right, I took this a little bit early. There was no displacement above it. Okay, I'm going to go in my journal and I'm going to write on a Post-it note, slap it on my monitor to wait for extra confirmation for displacement. Okay, I'm going to really focus on that going into the next week. There you go. Start treating yourself like a fucking professional. This is not like you're hopping on playing Fortnite with your friends. That's why all these people in our chat are like, Justin, why are you not taking a trade? He's a fraud. He's not trading. Because you guys aren't treating this like an actual profession. You don't treat this like this is your actual job, like you actually want success. You treat it like you're literally playing a video game. Chart settings? Yeah. So, canvas. D7, D6, D0 is the background hue. And then symbol, my bodies are just white. Down candles are the middle gray in TradingView. And then all the borders are black. How often do you do charting sessions? I do charting sessions every single day in the mentorship. And like I said, I live trade every single day. What you're seeing right now, I do every single day with our students, with the group. Highs not yet taken. I'd like to see the market come back, take this low, and then continue higher. I'm going to take a long here. Stop will be at that recent low. I want to see new highs. So we've break structure to the upside. Bigger time frame SMT is what I'm looking at. Low gets taken from the initial sell-off of FOMC. Low gets taken. Oh, do that. Not back that. Ends up having a break. I don't expect to pull back to this breaker. Why? Because internal low already gets taken. When this internal low gets taken and we continue to respect this and hold it, I enter long, low at the stop, because ES has also had a deeper retracement as well. I'd like to see this for leg up get ran through, work our way towards the external highs. The big bullish SMT is from this low. How do you know when to not take a trade after a big move versus something like today where there was a big move and down and still nice to move up? All has to do with recognizing conditions. In FOMC, you're going to get really, really clean most of the time, volatility and efficiency. So notice how the market today is kind of very fast move, rebalance, fast move higher. I'd want to see another fast move higher to go take these highs. But on a normal day, like let's say it's a no news Monday and the market ends up selling off 100 points at open to go take the opposing liquidity pool. After that opposing liquidity pool gets taken, the immediate reaction of most of the time after that is the market starts to slow down. We build more price action. That's when we start to kind of chop a little bit because the conditions are separated from the environment. And that also just takes kind of time. You need screen time to be able to see that. The original. Justin, how do I get rid of my fear of entering a trade? I know my strat works. I've done all the work to confirm to myself that it works. I've been trading for a year. In the last few months, it comes back. So there's a couple things that normally is the case, right? Fear of losing. But fear of losing isn't just like fear of losing money. It's fear of losing conviction in yourself. So you have to eradicate the idea of this loss doesn't dictate my trading journey, right? Where it's like, for example, this trade that I'm in right now, they could reverse, it could literally dump and I could get stopped out. This trade, win or lose, does not dictate me and it does not dictate my trading journey and my trading success as a whole. Now, there's also a couple things. If you are struggling with execution trade on a paper account. Like, I want you to practice just pressing the button when you are seeing the validation of what you're looking for. Press the button. If you see the setup, just focus on practicing pressing the button. Move my stop to the low. Take risk off. There's no clear displacement on this change for that question of why didn't I enter here. There's no clear swing high like there is here. This is a clear swing high where the market goes higher, goes lower, and then breaks through it. There's nothing here for me to really have validation of it. Now, I tried to take a long here, but I just never ended up pulling back, so I wait for the internal sweep to continue the draw. So also keep in mind, because this is an internal low and it's actually an imbalance, if the market does want to quote, play game, I always say like play games, then we'll come back down, take this, and then again, see the same thing. So there's two outcomes that I would expect to see here. Market either pumps now or we rebalance, take this, and then pump. How can I defeat micromanaging? Would you recommend getting into a good trade and leave the room? Yeah. Put your stop loss and just let it. There you go. First PT. Stop move to break even. Guys, I want you to understand the lesson from this session that we just had. Justin, why didn't you take shorts? Justin, why didn't you take shorts? Justin, why didn't you take longs? Justin, why didn't you take longs? And yet I still get paid. Not because I'm stressing about trying to take a trade. Not because I'm constantly looking for opportunity, being like, oh, I need to take this, I need to take this. But waiting for me to, personally, this is what I'm telling you. Do not care about what I think. Do not care about what anybody else thinks. Because I can sit at this chat all day and say, oh, this guy told me I should have taken a long. Oh, this guy told me I should have done this. I don't care what anybody thinks. It all comes down to, do I have personal conviction? Do you have personal conviction in your trading and in the setup that's in front of you? What made you take this over not waiting for the low to get manipulated? Great question. Because this low gets manipulated. My job is not to guess. If this low gets taken and I immediately see this hold, I enter long. Now, does that mean the market could possibly come back down and take this low? Yeah. What do you think I do? I give myself 2 tries. So if we come back down, I have good risk to reward, meaning I'm not going to lose that much if we come back down and I get stopped. And if we do end up having this low get taken, I re-enter the position. But the market gives me enough validation to take the entry based off of what I'm expecting and what I see in front of me. But there was a buy side SMT. Wouldn't that make entry invalid? Where? This high was not taken on ES or NQ. The GOAT, I learned a lot from you, man. Don't trade the forever, but I read the market now just like you, but still the GOAT. Much love, brother. Again, I care about what you don't need to trade the forever model. I care about what makes you more money, brother. Love to hear it, bro. I'll trail this stop more. Why I made 2 of them. Justin, can you let me know how you got the buys for the day? I would highly recommend everybody after this live stream is done, save it and go watch it. Because everything that I told you today is exactly what I want you to focus on. Literally, when it comes to how the morning opens, I didn't take a trade. Everything that I wanted to played out. My bias was I want the 1 hour to get rejected. Didn't have the confirmation to take it. When FOMC opened, I didn't take the trade. Market sells off. We stay patient. We rebalance. I say, I want to see a market continue lower. I don't take a trade. It's not there for me yet. Go back and watch it because I'll give you literally the outline of the entire day up until this trade. Why did you choose that fair value gap versus all others? Because that's where the internal low is resting. When do we not need to go back to equilibrium? Notice, we do not go back to equilibrium here. Why do we not go back to equilibrium? Because market is bullish, the draw is higher, and we take internal sell-side liquidity. When we take internal sell-side liquidity, the market does not need to go back to equilibrium. Exactly. This is basically turtle soup. Back to that low because we have the 5 minute. Let's see if we can hit that last high or not. How can I join the mentorship? So under this link on the YouTube, there's a link to access and book a call with us. Again, like I was talking about earlier, my program of what I do, me spending time to teach people is we want to get on a call with you, talk to you. Do you actually are like willing to change, or are you somebody who just wants like alerts because then we won't take you? because we have a professional psychologist who's there to specifically help you. Her name's Sarah. She has a whole entire course curriculum as well. I have an entire course everything that I live trade pretty much every single day. So what you're seeing right now, you get 4 times a week. What else was I going to say? Oh, and we just also have data analysis. So like you get TradePath for free. We want to see your journal. We want you to track your trades. Make sure that you're doing, the rights and wrongs and identifying what that is. How can we join? Go to the link under this live. Go to learn from me. Click this. Go to click here to join. Fill out this type form. Fill out this form on this page. You can see some of the recent testimonials from previous students that we currently have as well. Justin, when it sweeps liquidity, how do you know it's a reversal and not a fake out? Displacement. Understanding is there an external draw? If there's an external draw, and for example, I want the market to go lower, then when buy side gets taken, I'm expecting a sweep. Now, I don't necessarily take that for what it is. I need to see the market validate it to me by sweeping that high and then rejecting back lower. Because if the draw on liquidity is lower, then I would expect that high to get swept. If we displace through that high, then there's just no trade. Is there still a valid entry? No, I would not touch anything right now. Can you explain displacement? The market's going to do one of 2 things when we're at a high. Stopped at break even on the last con. Market's going to do one of 2 things. Either do this, or do this. We either sweep it, which means we take the high and then fall back down, or we displace through it. Displacement, sweep. Justin, is it right that outside events affect your trading like discipline-wise, or trading psychology is different? Psychology in general, 100%. Yeah, outside events that happen in your life can 100%. If your mom just died of cancer, you probably shouldn't trade. If you just broke up with your girlfriend and you're emotional, you probably shouldn't trade. Justin, when you see other traders make hella money and you have an off day, does it affect you? Why would it affect me? Why do I care? Why do you care? Why do you care if I make money? Like, why do you care? There's literally no reason to, because all you're doing is comparing yourself. And then it gets in the way of your own journey. It gets in the way of you being grateful for the progress that you've made and the path that you're on. Might have been stopped out to the tick here on that low before going higher. Still respecting the down close candle on the 5-minute fair value gap, but still want to see price go lower. There is no trades, though. After this central line gets taken, do not touch it. Let the market do its thing. Are you going to upload this live stream? Yeah, this will be on YouTube. You'll be able to go to the live section of my YouTube channel and be able to go rewatch this. Quick question, bro. What does a typical week look like for someone in your mentorship? So it kind of starts on a Friday, and I'll tell you why. On Friday, at the end of the week, every student is given a form to fill out. In that form, you must fill out exactly what you did that week, how many trades did you take, what was your win-loss, what did you feel like you did right and you're wrong, rate your confidence from 1 to 10, rate your patience from 1 to 10, rate your discipline from 1 to 10, everything. Fill out exactly what you did, how you feel about it, what you think you did right, what you think you did wrong. And that's number one. On Sunday, we will do a coaching call where we go over all of the data for everybody for that previous week. So what's the averages of the group? We take everybody's data and we say, these are the top 5 people from last week. Number one, congratulations to them. Let's see what they did right. These are the data of everything from the previous week. What is the main problem? And that main problem is going to be their focus for the night of discussion. Going into Monday, we come in. Monday morning, we live trade. We create a plan for the week on Sunday. Monday, we live trade together. Monday night, we do a charting session and a group coaching call. So we'll go over any trades that we took in the morning. We'll hop on live. Anybody has questions to ask me, they can ask me questions, basically show me their trades. I'll look through all of everybody's trades, make sure everybody's getting the plan, and then we'll create a plan for the next day, possibly have more group discussions where people will come on, talk to each other, ask me questions one-on-one directly to me. And then we'll plan for the next day. Tuesday, we'll also go live trading. Same thing on Tuesday night. Wednesday, we'll live trade. Wednesday night, Sarah, who's our professional psychologist, she does a session. So tonight, she will be doing a session with the mentorship students, basically going over, and let me actually think, she just released what she's talking about tonight. Let me go check. Tonight, she is covering obsession of making money and how it kills your trading. So she's going over how to get over the obsession of making money and why it kills your trading. And then Thursday, same thing, live trading, Friday, live trading. And then we send out the form. And during the week as well, we have client success managers, which are there literally to check in on traders and make sure that they're doing the things that they're going to do, and they're journaling and everything. And we keep them accountable. Does the mentorship make sense if you are in Europe? Yeah, we have many people that are in Europe that are a part of it. Again, if you guys are interested in pricing or knowing more about it, go to the link in the description, literally the top link that says learn from me. Go down, fill out the type form, book a call. And the reason why we make you book a call and you can't just buy this is because, excuse me, I'm not going to waste my time. Like, there's a lot of people, even in this chat today, that's like, Justin, are you taking anything? Is this here? Is this here? Like, people that actually want to learn, that actually want to improve their situation, that are struggling, that know that they need help, that are willing to put in the work, we will get in a call with you, talk to you, and ask you questions, diagnose you basically saying, how long have you traded for? What do you think your biggest problems are right now? Where do you think you're lacking from? What do you think you need to be successful? And ask you these questions so we can better understand you as an individual and how we can better suit you. It's not a monthly subscription. So we have it's a one-time payment, but we also have payment plans. So you could split it up between like 2 or 3 months. How do you tell the difference between a valid SMT and a fake SMT? What's the draw on liquidity? Does it make sense for that SMT to even be there? It needs to have logic behind it. An SMT doesn't mean anything if there's no logic. So for example, I would not care if there was a bearish SMT here. Why? Because it doesn't make sense for this to hold. Why? Because sell side's been taken. There's a bigger time frame bullish inefficiency. There's way more generated buy side liquidity, and we have a break of structure. This SMT doesn't mean anything. How long does the mentorship last? It's 6 months. Here, I will put this link in the chat and then I'll... Actually, I don't even think it. You know what kind of funded account I can use in Mexico? I'm not sure. I think you could probably ask ChatGPT and it would tell you. Not sure though. What about quarterly pro plan? Like split it up into four months? I think we've done that before. So again, right now, guys, I would not touch anything in the market. This internal high has already been taken. This is your time to hop off. I'll probably stay on for like 15 more minutes, answer some more questions, and then we'll call it a day. That's so funny, Kale. I do remember, brother. Appreciate you, bro. So funny. How do you know so much about FOMC days? Because I've traded them over 100 times. Justin, your mentorship has helped me so much. I love to hear it, bro. Mike, you're killing it, bro. Keep it up, bro. I just said bro 3 times. That was a filler word. Oh my. Do you have separate groups for advanced traders and beginners? What is this, segregation? No. Because people that are struggling as beginners, a lot of times are still struggling with the same things as advanced people. If I buy your mentorship, I will get a step-by-step lesson for forever model and checklist. So A to Z. Yeah, it's 60 videos. It's a 60 video course curriculum, A to Z, everything made by me. Have you ever clashed with one of your students? Like clashed in what way? Not really. Not at all. I think we like, bro, I'm very, very blessed for my student. Like, and the reason why we have the process of what it is because everybody in our mentorship wants to work. Like, they want to work hard and they're motivated. So, like, when we get on calls together, we have great discussions and, like, it's a great time. It's a blast. Like, I love what I do. I love talking to everybody. I love helping people. I love serving. Like, I love growing as an individual in the process of it as well. We have an amazing community. Fix something real quick. How was it for you in Novi Sad? Novi Sad's a cool place. I would have never thought like I would ever be in Serbia. But it's an interesting place for sure. I enjoyed it. I want to know if he's charging different people different prices. Well, first of all, that's illegal. We can't do that. So don't even, I mean, we would literally be sued. Do you have any supercars? One thing that like you guys will get to know more about me is that's just not who I am as an individual compared to other traders in the space. Like, I would much rather spend money building companies, building a software like TradePath and the products that we're building, and then like try to. I spent 200 grand on a car like a year ago, and I sold it a year later because it's like it just didn't give me it brings short-term satisfaction, but materialism will never make you happy. Materialism will never satisfy you. Are you waiting for a setup? No, I'm probably gonna hop off in like 10 minutes. Just I want to get as many questions and help in as possible. Like, so guys, we got 10 minutes left. If you have any questions, I'm here to help you. I'm here to give you any advice that I could possibly give. So feel free to ask again any more questions that you guys have. Justin, what's change in the state to trust for 3-minute or 5-minute, and how to see it as valid change in the state? All comes down to displacement, right? When we look at this move today, and we look at this change in the state, some people are going to mark this 1 minute as a change in the state and end up getting ran through. Why is this not valid? Because when I zoom out, nothing else is validating this, and it's not a swing high. It needs to be a swing high, meaning it is a clearly defined high. So for example, right, the difference of this is this. Market is coming down, market is coming down, market's coming down, market's coming down. And then you're looking at this as a change in the state. It's not. There's no clearly defined swing high. Now, when we do this, and then we break it, there is a clearly defined swing high that we actually broke. That is what I want to see. So if I look at this 1 minute and I say, that's not clear, I'm going to zoom out and see, okay, well, what does make sense? I zoom out to the 2 minute and I can see this is a clearly defined swing high that marks as a breaker because it's an up close, down close candle. And I want to see this now get displaced through to look for longs. Did you clash with your parents about trading? Early on, yes. Like for my first year, probably, yeah. But my parents were very still supportive, but like they knew I was losing money. So like they just want the best for me. When do you start trading futures and when do you stop? For example, if you're no longer looking for entries after 9:30 until 11 o'clock, majority of the time, yeah. So I'll trade 9:30 to 11 o'clock in the morning. 90% of the time, I'm off the markets at 11 o'clock and I don't look at anything the rest of the day. But like, for example, today, like FOMC is a rare occasion where I skip out on the AM session and I trade PM session instead for FOMC. How much did you lose before you became profitable? 40, 50 grand. Justin, I hit you up over a month ago in Tactical Traders about quitting weed. After years of daily use, I want to thank you for introducing me to God. I had no connection with any higher power. You are the man. Thank you. I love to hear that, bro. God bless, Ethan. Appreciate that, bro. Was there any good trade? I took a long. I took one trade today. I'll just keep the executions on so you guys can see. And then the last con got stopped at break even. Or not at break even, it got stopped in profit. How to not get overconfident on a winning streak. I think what normally happens when we're on a winning streak is we know we're going to end up taking a loss. So we're almost like trying to anticipate that loss. And I think the more that you can focus on just that thought alone, you'll kind of overcome it. Where it's like, as soon as you know, like, okay, I'm on a winning streak, I know a loss is coming, but you just like don't care. Like you wipe the slate clean every morning, right? Every morning you come into the market, streaks are non-existent. Like you're not on a streak. Today's a new day. Nothing has happened ever before. Justin, I want to thank you for everything. I've been watching for a year, just passed another funded with 400 on the day. All up to you, bro. Let's go, bro. Big congrats, bro. Justin, your YouTube videos are I always tell people to check you out. Appreciate it, bro. Not that they help. How do you deal with outside pressure? Like just graduating college, but I want to make this work so bad. Don't put a time limit on yourself. Don't stress out and know that an analogy that I used in that recent psychology video is that you have all of these goals, but you're not yet the person to accomplish them. And I really want you to think about that. Like many of us have big goals, but we're not yet the person to accomplish those goals. And the only way to become the person to accomplish those goals is by being under pressure and by going through hard situations so that the sword is sharpened in the fire. You have to grow as an individual. Your shoulders have to broaden to be put in certain situations to manage them and have composure during them. And know that you just need to become the person to accomplish those goals. It's not that those goals are, not realistic. It's just you are in the process of becoming the person to be able to accomplish them. Does NQ follow ES or the other way around? They're correlating assets. They don't follow each other. They follow specific things within the same market. So they're correlating assets. It's not that one follows the other. Sometimes one will pull the other, right? That's where you need to have screen time to recognize the difference between strength and weakness between the correlated assets. There's times in which the market will be correlated, and there's times in which the market will not be correlated. Those discorrelation periods of time are hints at what the market wants to do. That's why an SMT is created. An SMT is created is from a moment of discorrelation where NQ or ES takes an existing high, NQ does not, and it now gives us a hint as what price wants to do afterwards. So there's times in which NQ will be bullish and pull ES with it. There's times in which ES will be bullish and pull NQ with it. There's times in which there will be no discorrelation and they're both doing the exact same thing. It comes with time to be able to recognize them. After years of watching you, it was not the model, concepts, or anything that made me profitable. It was your encouragement to dive into deep introspection and align the current self with your goals. I appreciate it, bro. That truly is what needs to change. And that's what like our main focus is within our mentorship group, is every single day, my job is to push my students and the people within my circle to be the best version of themselves, as long as I'm continuing to push my version of myself to be the best version of myself. True growth and true success comes not just with same repetition, but learning from the same mistakes, learning and improving as an individual, and focusing on asking yourself, why am I doing this? You know, why do I really want to make this happen? What is this even for? Why should I put in this work? And asking yourself, you know, what you're really truly wanting to get out of life, and having a deeper experience within life in your own journey of success with trading, with business, with everything. I think a lot of the times, you know, many people are on autopilot during the day, throughout their life. Alrighty, guys, enjoy your day. It's time for us to hop off. Hopefully you guys learned something in this session. I think if you go back and watch this, you'll kind of gain a deeper understanding of the process of today and the entire session of the patience leading up to the trade that I ended up taking, and the analysis of what I was looking for within the market. But I plan to probably do these live sessions maybe once or twice a month. I do live trade, like I said, every day within the mentorship. So my job is I'm putting all of my students first. Unfortunately, you guys will be later. I'll have, you know, some lives on YouTube's here and there. But my job is I also will continuously post YouTube videos. I go watch the video that I just posted today on psychology. It's a really, really good video. I think you guys are going to enjoy it and get something out of it. But I'll keep getting you guys some videos out. And again, like I said, if you're looking for extra help and you want to join our amazing community, get the accountability, get the help that you need, have access to me, I will put this link in the chat once again for you guys to end up booking a call with our team. This is, again, not anything other than us just wanting to know more about your trading. Find this link. And give you the answers in what you're looking for as well. So enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe, be productive. Go take time, go journal. Go journal your trades, even if you didn't take a trade today. And I will talk to you guys later. Peace out, guys.